morning.
It's winding down for you.
It's a sprint.
It's a sprint to the finish.
It's like a sprint at the end of a marathon. It piles up quick when you get into all the big events, and we had our prom on Saturday and graduations within the next weekend. Going into Memorial Day, so it's coming quick.
Plus, John's a parent. He's running around following his daughter's spring sports exploits. What's she participating in?
Well, she's dual sporting, track and soccer.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So we had soccer Monday night, track last night, soccer again on Friday. So, it's been a fun spring.
John's also the parent of a proud parent of a college graduate. His son Evan graduated in record speed from Concordia. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, he it was 3 years ago. His commencement was 3 years to the day of his last day at Hanover.
Wow.
So he celebrated his 21st birthday, being able to graduate, and had a beautiful day. It was a little warm for him, but it went great. It's hard. It was almost surreal sitting there watching him walk across that stage.
John, it feels like, I'm sure you've heard it over and over, but it really does feel like yesterday that you were, he was having some leg problems, and you were in high school trying to finish out the high school career, and now here he is graduating, getting ready to kind of follow in the family footsteps, which is education.
Yes, it's amazing. As a principal, I always used to tell the parents at freshman orientation, hold on, it's going to go quick.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know I wasn't giving bad advice to those parents for all those years. It really is. You blink your eyes and they're gone. And it's one of those, both of his grandmothers are teachers. My wife's a teacher. She's no longer in the classroom, but she's an administrator for preschool programs in the area through Phoenix. And it's just one of those things where I don't want to say I wasn't supportive of the idea, but I wanted to make sure he knew what he was getting into back when he first started talking about it. But he's got that bug. And I think he's going to be great.
Well, we need people who are passionate about education, working in education.
Absolutely.
So,
I think one grandma is still subbing at East Jackson, isn't she?
She doesn't so much anymore. I think it's been a couple years since she got in there. But no, he's been around it. He knows the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he had a great experience student teaching over at Western, the high school there. And
nice.
Has he applied for a job at Hanover-Horton schools?
He can't. Those little nepotism clauses in the policy stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a little challenging to be.
Well, hopefully he stays in Jackson. But did you know you wanted to get into education when you were younger due to your family's history in education, or is this something that just kind of you fell into?
Well, it was one of those. I didn't realize till my high school graduation when we were going through things, and I found out. I think you probably had the same book where it was, a big old spiral bound, and you open it up and you could put the class composite picture, and there's all the little notes to fill out. And first grade, I was going to be an astronaut, a pro baseball player, or a teacher.
Yeah.
So
hey, one of them worked.
that was where I landed. Yeah. But I knew going into high school that was probably where I was going to end up. My mom didn't end up with her degree until I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things where just kind of, it's the right feel, it's the right fit, and looking back, I can't imagine having done anything else.
Yeah, it's very cool. John, you brought a couple graphics with you. This is interesting.
I thought so. That it's one of those. This time of year, you hear everybody talk, all the good sound bites of how there's record-setting funding going to education.
Yep.
And schools are spending too much. We're not doing enough with what we're getting. So this takes what the actual per pupil foundation has been back to 2001. And I got onto a website that's inflationcalculatorusa.com and put in for today's money. And you can look back at, early 2000s there, we were getting today's equivalent well over what we're getting today. And in fact, you go back from 10, 11 to now, we've been getting less and less money. And even now, you look at what the record-setting options are giving us now. are less than what we got just last year.
I mean, the creativity, you really have to be within your district. I mean, yeah, teachers would like to be paid more money. You'd like to offer more programs. It's really difficult to make that budget, isn't it?
Yeah, and here's one, when you talk teacher shortage, and everybody
Yeah.
keeps hitting on that, and one of the things I hesitated when Evan said he wanted to go into teaching was dealing with pensions and retirements.
Sure.
And that was about the time that they revised the pension system quite a bit. So I went back and took, if a teacher started at 95, so you're getting right up in there, getting close to retirement now, you look at what the foundation allowance increased from 95, to now it's been able to increase that $1,000. But you look at where the teacher would have started at step one in 95, where that number would be if we stayed with inflation versus where it is now. Top of this pay scale, where it should be, where it is now. And then you go back down, they would have topped off on our pay scale in 06, 07. So that would be an almost $81,000 salary now. Our scale tops off at 73. And the other bit is in there is the added cost. They've added 20% of our health care, 3% more to retirement, and all these other added costs that are on the teachers. To where in essence, the teacher has moved backwards since 06, 07 when they hit the top of the scale.
Wow.
And being asked to do more likely as well.
A whole lot more.
The legislature is actually giving higher percentage increases to universities, 12 to 15%, and regular public education is getting, as you saw, just fraction of that.
And a lot of, it's not real clear in the laws as far as what the school aid fund is for. Most people assume school aid fund is for K-12. I believe the number right now is between $600 or $640 per pupil in the state of Michigan that's going to higher ed. You give,
out of that fund.
You
Out of
give
that
schools
fund,
an
do the
extra
math.
$600 a kid, and you're not worrying about where class sizes are at. You're not worried about whether or not you can hire that extra counselor, or just all those different pieces that we had to cut through. When you look back at that from 06, 07 on down, where we were making less and less, while costs go up, insurance goes up, retirement goes up. This is the first time in my career I've gone into a school year not looking at what I had to cut.
Wow, that's good.
Meanwhile, Michigan State University is buying a bunch of Teslas that they are going to allow staff to use on university business.
Oh.
So there's good use of money.
That's, Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. I need a minute to process that.
Wow.
Talk about your AP program. You guys have kids taking advantage of, able to have college credits before they even get there, and it's just amazing. The
We
amount.
offer AP English every year. We offer an AP Bio class. But we've really put our focus into dual enrollment.
Okay.
That one of the things that's always bothered me with advanced placement courses, it's only any good to the student if they pass the test at a certain level.
Or going to a certain school, correct?
And certain schools will only accept a 5, which is the top score. And a couple of years ago, I was able to find a chart that showed the physics exam only has 6% of the kids nationwide score high enough for the University of Michigan to take that as a physics class. So you pass it a 3 on the 5 scale, and you get a credit. So you can go to, instead of your elective classes, they'll substitute your AP, but then you got to retake the class. So we went with dual enrollment, where you earn that credit, you earn that credit. And when Evan's class graduated in 2019, we had a total of 28 students earn over 274 credits.
Wow.
And in the last 4 years, our students have averaged 300 completed passed credits a year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And that's not a matter of hoping that the school accepts it, hoping that they take it. That is, you've earned that college credit.
Yeah, that's very cool, and a big cost savings as well.
Well, it is for us, because I haven't got through in 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was, he graduated with 27 credits, and every one of them marked off a requirement with his program at Concordia.
Yeah, that's great.
So he had to take, I think he took 6 credits in the summer and
Cool.
got out a year early.
Very cool. John, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks
We
for having
appreciate
me.
it. Yeah, good luck with graduation and all the end of the year festivities.
Absolutely. Thank you.
John Denney, Superintendent at Hanover-Horton School District. We'll be right back after this.